side, Laura, you get the feeling, I know we haven't seen a lot of Stacey Fung play over the years, but the little bits that we have seen is, you know, anyone who goes to college or plays college tennis in America is
plays a lot of doubles.
Yep, fairly well equipped. And I think most importantly, will embrace this team event style. So they won't be overawed by the whole occasion. I think, you know, they get to play against some pretty rowdy crowds there in the college system in America.
And they're used to a lot of trash talk from the side, so this is nothing.
Yeah.
Actually achieved a career-high individual ranking in college of #6 in the country, and then crowned All-American as well. So there's a lot of wins under her belt at that level. And of course, she's going to have a lot of looking to do at the net on the first ball after Felix serves, because he's going big even on the second. It's got so much rotation over it, so much natural kick.
That's a really great start for Felix. No signs of any problems whatsoever. Canada on the board, 1-love. First set.
He's so aggressive with his return position, to a fault sometimes.
Yeah.
Has that gone through the racket, guys?
I think so.
Hello, Petch.
Hello, hi, Loris.
We actually didn't know you were there. So
Yeah,
Mark Petchy, very good evening. You're right, it went through the throat of the racket.
You two are like my family. I'm always fourth on the list. Nobody knows I'm around until it's time to pay the bill. Let's have a look. That's gone through.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, that's why you got me down here. Just for that moment tonight, that's it. That's
Nothing gets past you.
That's my contribution. Doesn't get any better than that.
Wow, that's not that easy to do, to get it through the throat. It's got to be travelling at speed.
I was going to say, did you ever hit it that hard, Josh? Would you have got it through the throat?
No, not me. Laura would have.
Petros Tsitsipas representing Team Greece.
Keep going, I might get it in the neck.
Well, we've got you, Mark. It's been a pretty good start, hasn't it, from Felix? He looks pretty impressive.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind hitting this ball as well as he has with one knee. I mean, look at that pickup. Yeah, we've missed him on the singles court this week.
Certainly have, and great to see him back out here, no doubt. He'll be looking to have a really good year. And Mark, talking about college tennis, you know a fair bit about it. Your daughter, in fact, plays college tennis. So, you know, for Stacey Fung to be ranked #6 in the country, that's pretty high.
It's a incredible effort. Yeah, it is super competitive, and yeah, that is testament to just how good potentially she can be. She's going to be loving this atmosphere as well.
Yeah, it's certainly backed Felix in a baseline rally. thought about going on this first one. Just, for me, could be a little further in if she's going to look to cross.
The University of Washington, actually, up in Seattle. That was a little bit of a rival of my daughter, who went to Eugene, University of Oregon. Phil Knight of Nike's University. More of that, please.
Go on, Stacey.
Petros under the pump.
15-14.
And that was a good opening forehand there to get herself forward, committed to every volley.
Well, it'll be a deciding point now.
Deciding point.
A couple of good serves there for Petros to get himself out of trouble.
We don't need a close-up of the bug. Oh, so good.
Yeah, that's class, isn't it? You just
Team Canada.
see Felix
Canada leads 2-0.
hasn't played a match and he's just come out, it's sweet.
Stacey Fung.
It just looks so relaxed, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
You
great
give him a
start.
target on the return to work with, and it, for an extremely good singles player, sometimes it does feel easier because you know in your head where you're aiming before you're even stepping up to the line.
I'll be interested, Mark, and of course Laura. We've seen it with Andy and Jamie Murray, the brother. You know, of course, Andy and Jamie, quite different styles of players, and I think Petros and Stefanos fit into that sort of category as well. I mean,
yeah, the one thing you can't teach, unfortunately, for Petros is height.
yeah.
He actually times the ball, Josh, beautifully. I mean, he actually very clean hitter of the ball in terms of the way that he strikes it. Just doesn't obviously have the same kind of threat on the serve. And Steph is just an unreal athlete.
Yeah.
15-0.
What do you think, Laura? Your thoughts on it? It's, you know, Jamie and Andy Murray, who both you guys know very, very well. It's just completely different game styles and personalities.
They've got different skills as well.
Forehands.
Yes.
Without saying that, you know, Jamie has the ability with his hands at the net that Andy doesn't have.
18-13.
So that, yeah, different skills, but I would say, you know, when I've seen Petros play, he's definitely nowhere near as consistent off the baseline. Would you like to compare, Josh?
Well, I think he's done well, Petros, to get himself into the top 100. That's all I know. Gee, that's athletic, isn't it? We're sitting behind the court, and you can just see he's like a cat at the net. He's just so dynamic with his movement, Felix. It's great to watch.
Oh, Petros, very ambitious with the first cross. This is what we saw from him last United Cup, where he wanted to do too much out there, and that's sometimes the hardest thing for mixed doubles, is knowing when to let your partner take the shot from the baseline rather than just running.
40-30.
Well, it's been a great start for Team Canada. They race to a 3-love lead first set. Vivid Sydney, that began back in 2009. 3-week festival of lights across the Sydney Harbour and of course all around the surrounding areas. It just lights up the city. Incredible. It was an event inspired by all the buildings being illuminated in London, and that was back in 2007. In fact, over 2 million people have attended Vivid Sydney every year. That's around about the middle of the year, around May, June. So it's a little bit chilly here in Sydney around those time of the year, but a great place to visit and a great spot to check out the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And we are just a short 15-20 minutes away from the city out here at Homebush Stadium, which was originally home of the Olympics back in 2000 and gets plenty of use. It's a multi-sport venue out here at Homebush, where we've got Ken Rosewell Arena, rugby league, netball, swimming, athletics, hockey. Many, many sports are played out here at this precinct.
Despina, Papamichail representing Team Greece to serve. Allow 15.
Guys, I do wonder how tennis must be in the country like Greece. You've got, you know, 2 top 10 players, and they've been there for a couple of years now, and I wonder if they're really inspiring the next generation.
Oh, there's a bunch of future events. You know, there is plenty of tournaments if you're looking for them as an up-and-coming player, someone trying to transition onto the senior tour, maybe. A lot of 15Ks.
A lot of good weather there too to have a lot of tournaments. However, Mark, it's quite surprising there hasn't been an ATP event or a WTA event.
Yeah, well, I think it's more surprising we haven't had one of those up in Scotland, to be honest. It's not always easy to buy the license. They're super expensive for geographical reasons rather than necessarily economic reasons. So yeah, I think economically they probably would struggle a little bit, but
wow. Oh. Yeah, I would imagine the sport's growing.
Yeah, I mean, I go there a fair bit. I do some work out there. There's actually, Laura will know more about this, and Sam, actually, she's not here at the moment, but IMG have their Future Stars tournament out there, don't they, at the Tatoy Club in Athens. Yep. I think is it the under-12s?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
so obviously they've made that a home. That's somewhere where Maria practices pretty hard when she's back in Athens. But yeah, it's more of a financial thing than anything else. But certainly the feel-good factor that Maria and Steph have brought to tennis is permeating through Greece.
How's the facilities? Is there enough facilities? Do they have courts?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have courts. Where I work in Kalamata, they've got a club where they've got a lovely six-court clay court club, proper clay courts down there. There's and it's not super expensive to play, as you can imagine from that point of view.
How's the pool?
Yeah, when I'm in it, it's not so good, if I'm being honest. There has been a few safari documentaries made of the hippo.
A little white. Oh, great hands. Petros. Boy, they needed that. They couldn't afford to go down double break. Greece on the board.
My mum and dad actually lived in Athens for probably 5 years, and my mum used to play tennis at the first club that Petros and Stefanos learned at just outside of Athens, and all the coaches there were still so in awe of them and what they've been able to create. And there's definitely plenty of kids academies, summer academies, trying to capitalize on the success of Sakkari and both Tsitsipas for sure.
Do they enjoy that? They must have loved living there, though.
Yeah, well, Laura was in London. They loved it.
Yeah. They got rid of me for a couple of years. Had the time of their life.
Yep.
And they had her passport. Well, hand-to-hand combat down here.
Gee, I'm impressed with his athleticism. Felix, he is just looking so dynamic with his movement. He's electric, he's keen. Drops in. Geez, classy. Felix Auger-Aliassime and Stacey Fung from Team Canada have got off to a flying start, and they lead 4-1 in the first set here.
they've got to be happy with this start.
Been super impressed with Stacey. She is
Yeah.
not overawed whatsoever.
Team Canada in general just have such good attitudes and approaches to these big matches. I was so impressed by Fernandez and how she behaved the entire match against Sakkari. Never gave in, battled away to the very last point.
That was sort of my question to you, because you look at Canada, and tennis has been strong in the last decade, men's and women's. And, you know, what it brings to the next generation. And I'd be interested to see the impact for a country like Team Greece, because it's not always, just because you have 2 top 10 players, that doesn't guarantee more people playing or participation or even success. So I think Team Canada, with their developmental pathway, do a really good job. You guys have been involved, whether as players or supported by the LTA. It's the same thing. Like, just because you have money or you come from a tennis federation like I do in Australia, that doesn't guarantee success.
Doesn't really mean anything.
Doesn't guarantee success. So you've got to get out there and do it. I think Team Canada, over the last decade or so, have done a really good job.
It's also interesting to see where they come from. There's always going to be a thread of going through the National Tennis Centre, but a lot of the time you actually look at the backstory of all these players. There's some pretty strong parenting that's been around that has also funded the initial burst from those players. Very different paths for the likes of Andreescu, who played at the Ontario Racket Club. And then you've got Fernandez, and then obviously Genie Bouchard. Raonic was chipping ice off court.
Gifting a couple here.
Yeah, it's not easy, is it? It's Petros, he's invested actually quite a lot of time and effort into his captaincy role, into this United Cup. So he's been sitting there
for hours.
Yeah, each match. So it's not easy to come out here and try and perform straight off the bat. Brilliant hands here from Felix. Got a little unlucky with the odd net cord.
Can't be feeling too bad in the knee if he's sliding into that front leg there.
No, that's giving us all great confidence watching Felix slide.
Oh, we've got some I formation. I formation against such a strong returner is a risky game. Papamichail's not going to have the same wingspan as some of the taller doubles guys who use that play all the time. So you really got to commit.
I think it just highlights the pressure that Petros is feeling, serving to Felix. Just that every return seems to be coming back at pace. Just a little long, so one break point gone, and we will have a deciding point. Excellent serving from Tsitsipas. Just to keep them in touch. Still down to one break. 4-2, Team Canada.
That's an error that's extracted by the way that Felix has been monitoring the net. Petros feeling as though he really needs to go for it. Sometimes you look at tennis and you see these errors coming, you feel as though the player isn't playing that well, but you've got to look at the other side of the net to see what's been going on.
Themselves in this here. Team Greece.
15-13.
Oh, it's just long. That's a break back. Great game from Team Greece. We are back on serve with Canada leading 4-3 first set. interesting that Apostolos hasn't taken over the coaching, because, boy, he was vocal in Stefanos' match this afternoon. It was interesting, as Stefanos went on, he was winning so comfortably that Apostolos became more and more animated and a lot more chat.
Well, I guess that's the sort of matchup where it's great to work on everything that you've been doing on the practice court in the off-season. So maybe he was looking for some different tactics, different plays. I need to work on my Greek to be able to tell you.
Time.
Leila Fernandez White put up a great fight this evening. Finished the year pretty well, I thought, in 2023, Laura, and certainly on the up.
Really well.
Yep.
I think this is going to be a good season for her. Winning Hong Kong at the end of the year, semis the week after, then undefeated at Billie Jean King Cup, and played great this week. So many positives to take from the match that she just played tonight.
Tell you what, good job Petros moved. That could have been the end of the match. I don't know what pace that forehand was. I'd love to know.
15.
That was like a rifle shot.
Yeah, he just got it so sweetly out of the middle, didn't he? And he is certainly seeing it so beautifully.
That was 10,000 calories sweet.
Petch, you can probably see it better from down there. Petros stands so close to the net. It's almost like he's got nowhere to go off the split step because he can't go any more forward.
There's definitely space over the top.
That's right. We see it a lot in the men's doubles game, don't we, where the net player just camps on the net, and it's almost a forgotten shot, the lob, I guess, because a lot of them are double-handers and they don't necessarily like dropping the racket and the hand off the racket for a chip lob. There's certainly a lot of room, though.
(40-15).
When he is so close to the net, it's very hard as a returner to not go straight for him because he's such a big target and you want to get him before he's able to make the first cross.
He's done a good job here, Petros, of just trying to intimidate the opposition and have presence on the court.
Tell you what, Josh, he's giving Paddy Rafter a run for his money in sweat as well. Petros, yeah.
Yep. And Stefanos was the same in the singles. I thought, gee, they were. I mean, I know it is humid tonight, but they must be heavy sweating family, that's for sure. Better send over the Gatorades.
pairing just look like the more aggressive team at the moment. They're looking to open up the lines first.
Yeah, I think this is a big game for Team Canada. Stacey's just getting, I think, a little bit nervous about the mistakes on the off the ground on the return, the fact that she lost her serve. Stunning tennis.
Yeah, pretty to watch, isn't it, when all four get involved in a game of doubles, and that should be a bit of a confidence booster for Stacey. Just get the feeling, Pet, she's just getting a little flat-footed or stuck.
Yeah.
That can be nerves. That can have the impact where you just sort of get a little flat-footed with the feet. Right idea, wasn't it?
Do you feel that Felix perhaps needs to serve and volley even on the second as well? It's leaving Stacey a little open with that line ball off the return.
I think it makes it easier, doesn't it, for the returner if your opponent doesn't serve volley. He looks to me like he's pretty committed to the return, irrespective of Felix serving and volleying or not.
Just rushing into the volley slightly.
30 all.
I love to see Felix serve volley. I think it's great for his development of his game. I like it when he does it at times in singles. This is a perfect opportunity to get more experience doing it under pressure.
Oh, that's a great shot. Trying to avoid his partner's head here slightly.
Didn't miss by much, did it? Yep, serves his way out of any trouble. Just steadies the ship. 5-4 lead for Team Canada.
5 games to 4.
He's got a good physique, Mark, doesn't he, for a tennis player? That's very much the taller play. He doesn't carry a lot of bulk upstairs. Strong legs. He's very athletic.
Yeah, I was just trying to hear what Adele was saying there. Yeah, he has the perfect physique, and I guess that sometimes.
Stay with your target. You know, don't like look at the guy at the net. Like if he's moving around, like leave him, let him move and stuff. You keep your own target. Yeah.
Anyway, like we're just guessing. Like,
exactly.
Like he moved once, and he moved and he moved and he moved.
Yeah. Even in that set, there's so many like points that, you know, break points that we had. We're just a better team, better players. So.
Yeah, it's one of the lovely things about the United Cup is trying to listen in and hear what the tactics are.
Time.
What did you learn?
Well, I think he was thinking that they're overthinking what Petros is doing at the net.
Yep.
He's moved once, but we're just going hard line and just missing the return. We need to make more balls in. And the other thing I was just going to say, returning to that thought that you were saying about Felix, I think sometimes that's perhaps been some of the frustration with him, is that when he plays, he doesn't use that athleticism to keep himself in rallies. He's trying to look for those winners. He's looking for the glory shot.
And Felix will need a little guidance in this situation, because he's got a career high ranking in the doubles of 60, but he definitely doesn't play very often.
No.
Not working.
No, it was in, sure.
It's interesting. When I was coaching on tour, I got to the Junior Davis Cup in Madrid when Team Canada had Felix and Denis Shapovalov in the team.
That's a strong team.
And of course, and Australia had Alexei Popyrin and Alex Diminor in our team. Very good team. But those guys had such success. Their trajectory to the top was so quick, and even back then, Felix, he always tried to play the perfect shot, and he was ultra aggressive. And I think it's taken him a little time to really get a grasp and understanding of his game and how to use it. And I still think he's not quite fully developed and quite sure of what that looks like every single day. Of course, he's got a lot better and a great player. But I think sometimes, and I think that's what you're getting at, Mark, he tries to play everything perfect and win every point.
Yeah, it's a real art form, and the more you watch this game and you look at the top players, particularly the ones that have dominated, have rarely lost, that's why they win on their bad days, because they allow you to beat yourself, and they put balls in court, use their minds and their feet to beat you rather than always with their shot-making skills. Felix, when he's on, he can be unplayable against anybody in the world.
He's still only 23. It feels like he's been around for a decade already.
Do you think he belongs in the top 10? He's that good?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good solid hold from Petros. 5-all. And I do often wonder with Felix, I just think, you know, we've seen Novak dominate, and particularly on the grass, and I just think Felix, grass could be a great surface for him with his game style. And I'm just sort of a bit confused why he hasn't done better on grass. Any thoughts?
I don't have the numbers off the top of my head. I would imagine that one of the setbacks for him at times has been his return game on grass. Balls in court.
Still make quarters of Wimbledon.
Yeah. No, but I get that. But I think he's the sort of guy that if you would have said he's made a final, or just with how athletic and he can serve and volley, and I just think it's a great surface for him.
Maybe this is the year.
Yeah, let's hope so.
One thing that's coming clear is you can see why Stacey had a very good college career. She's very well put together. There's nothing that can really go wrong, but she doesn't really have any weapon.
Very solid. Ooh.
There's no real gear change available to her off the ground, or particularly with this serve.
Yeah, it's landing almost every time, middle of the box, a lot of body serves, but then sitting up nicely. So Tsitsipas getting a good hit on every return, and you can just almost see Felix overthinking when to move. First time they've done I formation here.
Oh, that is sweet as.
I don't like I formation on her serve though. You need a bigger weapon. It needs to be a big first serve, otherwise you're just giving the returner so much space.
Yeah, I think if you're going to play off I formation there, Felix has to go the other way and make Petros hit that backhand down the line. It's his least favoured shot.
That's better.
15-40.
Oh, he's all over it. Petros Tsitsipas. Excellent hands, and Team Greece get the break deep in the first. Now we'll have a chance to close out this first set with a 6-5 lead. You can just see with his movement, Petros, he is the one that plays a lot of doubles.
He's so active, isn't he? And realised that in the first couple of games he didn't do enough to help his partner out. And since then, he has been everywhere.
It's a good story, Team Greece. We were a little worried, weren't we, early on in the United Cup with Stefanos sitting out of the singles. But he's come back with a vengeance and played beautifully today. Maria Sakkari. I got to talk to her a little earlier today, and she was saying she was a little under the weather and came out a little later than she would have liked here to Australia, so her preparation has been a little not so perfect for her liking, but I thought she played really well today, Laura.
She did, yeah. They only got here a couple of days before Greece's first match, and helped by the schedule for sure. The fact that Greece only played their first match on Tuesday. But yeah, played a fantastic first one against Chile. Daniela Segal got taken to the woodshed slightly, and then under pressure tonight. Excellent tennis.
Great start, isn't it?
Love 15.
It's tough when you've already missed a couple of volleys and then the other teams realise that too, starts peppering you at the net. Just feel under so much pressure.
It's just going on everything. He's so involved. And I think Felix has got to revert to a chip lob soon. 2-set points.
Late for service.
He's such a clean timer of the ball, isn't he?
40-13.
So much upside to that, isn't there? But obviously the one downside throughout the course of his kind of progression is that he times it so well that he just dominates opponents. You don't, therefore, potentially learn the art of defence.
It's a great comeback. They were down 4-1. Much to the delight of this pro-Greek crowd here. It is Team Greece who have snapped up this first set, 7 games to 5. Well, Laura, it was a bit of a sluggish start when they got down 4-1. It looked like it was all Canada with the momentum, but they've teamed up well, haven't they? They've combined really well, Team Greece, to get back and win that first set.
Well, let's listen in here.
Stay more. Yeah, you might be able to get there, exactly. Yeah. If you don't have it, then
Well, it just sounds like Felix a little frustrated with how active Tsitsipas has been at net, and yeah, that first serve point to 1 really could have been better for both. With Stacey Fung's first serve, she's kind of struggling to let Felix get into it at the net, but really 1 out of 6 break points converted. Could have been a very different scoreline had they kept that lead. Some of the highlights from set 1.
Well, a lot of it was Felix early on. He was super involved, and then it was all Petros, wasn't it? A lot of it just getting so close to the net and trying to dominate with his movement.
And him being so active has forced his partner to become more active. Papamichail, all of a sudden, she's starting to look for the first volley and closing down the net, and also expecting the one line to her because she knows they'll try and target her. So both players really lifting their level.
How you going down there, Mark?
Loving life, Josh.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, just listening to you guys sort of recite poetry. It's been great.
Just keeping you on your toes.
Team Canada 2.
Mark, how do you think the work
15.
when we focus on Felix? We know he's coached by Frederick Fontang and, of course, Tony Nadal. The impact. What's your thoughts on that setup?
I mean, I don't think you can question that there's enough knowledge in the camp for Felix to be able to hopefully maximize everything that he has at his disposal. When you look at both Frederick, who was a good player in his own right, obviously Tony knows everything there is to know about tennis and what to do in the big moments, which is obviously going to be crucial for Felix going forward. I mean, the last 12 months have just been incredibly difficult for Felix from a physical point of view, having finished the previous season in 2022 so strongly with those 3 straight titles. Everything was looking good, and it's just curtailed any momentum he had coming into last season.
Papamichail has played brilliantly in this last 20 minutes or so, just gaining in confidence and doing a great job here of just picking on Stacey at the net.
Did a lot of good things there, Felix, didn't he, in terms of keeping the ball low so that they were forced to defend the net. Once he got this one, that was nice. Then he kept coming forward.
Great hands.
Yeah, Team Canada.
That's what they could be doing more often. Just open the lineup, because Tsitsipas is always looking to cross first. Try and get him playing the volley behind his body. Yeah, he just waited a split second to see what Petros was going to do.
Go, boys. 10 girls.
40 love.
All of a sudden, Felix not making quite as many returns. And it feels like maybe he's overthinking what to do with them.
Certainly gaining in momentum on serve is Petros. One game all. Mark, how do you think Petros would go? I know he's played a lot with his brother, Stefanos, and they won that tournament in Antwerp in the back end of 2023. Does he have the same success with a different partner, or is it?
No, I think he could. I definitely think he could. I mean, obviously things are working with Steph at the moment, and Steph loves playing a lot of matches, which is something that he's going to clearly have to manage. But he, as I said right at the start of the match, he hits the ball beautifully. Just obviously he gets the most out of his serve that he can. He gets good leg drive. He times the ball, particularly on the one-hander, off backhand return very nicely. You don't, just because of Steph, you don't win titles like Antwerp if you don't have, you know, a fair bit of game yourself.
Oh, go on, Stacey. Feel like she needs a bit of a boost here.
30 love.
I'd love to know what she strings her rackets at, because it just doesn't seem to fizz off the strings. And it could be just nerves tonight, could be gripping the racket a little bit tighter, and all of those things that go into maybe not playing your best. But definitely feel as though there's a few more KPHs to get out of her game somehow. Sure, at 26 we're going to be changing too much technique, and I'm not sure it needs to be changed.
No, I agree. I think technically it's quite sound. It's
yeah, but there's no acceleration. That's the thing. Like, you watch the serve, it literally, the takeaway pretty much stays at the same pace throughout the serve. And that came in at 114 kilometers an hour.
It's a little light on.
I'm not saying this is the reason, but I think often at the ranking that she's at the moment, you kind of just hold on to your strings until they break sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you might not be given your strings, you're probably buying them.
It's a good point.
Then you're paying for the restring every time.
You know, you don't have that luxury, do you, of experimenting with different restrings, different types of strings, different tensions, and you're not around the highest level where you can get that advice as well.
Yeah, she actually did a podcast where she was chatting recently about how early on in her 20s, when she was playing at a professional event, she was running out of rackets on the court because she was they were popping all the time. She didn't know why, but just going through 2 or 3 rackets, and she had last racket and was still playing the match. She didn't even realize that you were allowed to send rackets off in the middle of the match to go and get them restrung.
That's another break. So it's a good start here for the Greek team in this second set. They've taken the first 7-5 and they continue with a break, 2-1.
I'm sure she's loving a tournament like this then, where you can drop a racket into the string and have it back in 15 minutes. Team Canada picks up the bill. Stunning.
Yeah,
That's what you want every week.
Just before the last match of the event, you'd just drop them all in, wouldn't you?
Yeah, all six. Off you go.
Yeah, unfortunately, she may not have 6. But it's all part of the learnings, isn't it, Laura? These are the sort of things that you don't get.
You wouldn't have done this, Laura. Maybe Josh probably didn't do it as well. When I was growing up, we used to play with gut, and we used to not have a full restring. Like, we'd literally just restring like the racket, the string that was broken. So you'd end up having about 8 or 9 knots around the frame with different tensions, obviously all around your racket.
Yeah, you're showing your age.
Well, I was hearing from Sam Smith earlier that she used to travel with her stringing machine, so people these days need to just step up to the plate, start doing it in the hotel room.
Has she ever bought you dinner?
No.
Time.
It explains itself. I don't mean that, Sam. It's not true. Felix is going to have to start lining things up.
That'll help. Good start.
15.
And I think this is a really good return. I think just tactically, he has to just almost hit every ball, and if he's not going to go down the line, he's got a chip lob. He has to find a way to keep Petros at bay a little bit.
I'd love to see Stacey hit that lob right now. You know, I mean, he's going to have a little bit of time. You almost don't need to chip it. You can kind of roll it up. But, I mean, Petros is just camping on the net. He's not worried about the lob at all.
Needed to be half a step quicker up to that first volley. Just thought about it too long before coming forwards.
And that's why you see people camp on the net, isn't it? Because they don't want to give them the space in the forecourt in front of you to dip it on your shoelaces. You may be at the net, but you're defending still. That was almost 3 against 1. He was that close to the net. He was almost on the other side of it.
Yeah, you just get the feeling, don't you, that Stacey Fung is pretty intimidated with this crossing and just really uncertain or unsure of what shot to commit to.
40-30.
How much has Papamichail improved as this match has gone on? She's barely missing a ball.
No, she's been the quiet achiever with her tennis, not so much with the grunting.
Well, you've got to get involved with the grunt.
That's the way. Well done, Stacey.
Deciding point.
Good reaction here from Petros, though. He's taken full responsibility for that.
Like to see her do it again here. I'd love to see just commit to the shot. Can't go back in a shell here. She has to stay aggressive. That's too good.
Ball change, please.
An important hit back from Team Canada just to level the score up because things were getting away on the scoreboard.
Well done, Stacey.
Yeah, that's right. Good encouragement for Stacey Fung. Played a better game.
Well, they'll know what they need to do here to try and turn this match around. Did a bit more of it in this game, taking the lines away from Tsitsipas. Look at the movement he's got in that service box. He's everywhere.
Yeah. It's actually very instructional for people at home to watch Petros there with the in and out, the tidal movement, how when he's looking across and the ball's on the other side, he's up right on the net, and then as soon as it's gone past him, he drops back a couple of steps.
Whoops.
Below 15.
Now we know why they haven't logged.
(30-15).
It's a great pickup on the first volley from Auger-Aliassime.
40-15.
It looked like Stacey was thinking about taking it, and then he's had to play that from well underneath the net.
40-13.
She's done a great job of returning, hasn't she? Papamichail.
There's a forehand that looks like it was made in Barcelona, doesn't it?
Very extreme. Just long, so great serving from Felix under pressure. With a bit of momentum here, Team Canada.
Team Canada lead.
3-2, second set.
Yeah, interesting watching him there, Laura and Josh, on his return. If you were serving at him, Petros that is, with pace like Felix has at his disposal, you would go backhand a lot of the time. He's a lot like Steph. He's got a lot of similarities in the way. He's obviously been coached by his dad, and he's got a very forehand grip on that return. He's got a long way to go to the backhand side, which is why those last couple you see him have to chip. He doesn't have the drive backhand return available to him. Obviously off the second serve today, we've seen Petros drive through it on the off backhand very nicely, but when the pace is coming like that was from Felix, doesn't have a lot of other opportunities apart from to block lob.
No, I agree. I think it's something that Steph, I think, could work on is the chip return. Once that ball gets up shoulder height, I'd like to see him chip a few returns as well and just work on that shot. So plenty of room for improvement, I think, for both boys on that return. Mark, I know you weren't in commentary for that Tsitsipas match, but it's, I'm sure you were watching it. I know you're a tennis fan. It's, he's an interesting one, Stefanos.
A bit like Greek. It rhymes with Greek.
Yeah, he's an interesting one for me, Stefanos, because I still think there's a lot of upside in his game. Yet, he's been to 2 Grand Slam finals, but I do think it's the backhand. I think it's that one shot where he's got more upside in it. Like, you know, we saw Federer find it at the back end of his career. Certainly not saying Tsitsipas is at the back end of his career, but I think there's a lot of room for improvement.
Listen, anyone that knows me knows that I believe that, you know, this sport is, you know, for all the athleticism that we see, the different type of work that the players are putting in the gym, it's still a skill set sport, and the more skills and the more, you know, repertoire you have, and the more you can obviously produce those kind of shots, the better you are going to be as a player. That's why the big four on the men's side in particular stayed ahead of the pack, not because they were just mentally tougher, but in those big moments they were better players. They had more options at their disposal. And I agree with you, Josh. I think it's the one area that, unless you're actually on the court with somebody like Steph, it's very difficult to kind of know what he can't do. How does he make that shot into something that is a problem for the opponents and not a kind of go-to place, because his serve +1 is probably the best out there on the tour almost.
Yep.
I would say.
Yes, that serve, and when he gets on that forehand, his inside-in forehand is lethal.
And you should never sort of confine your own thinking to your own generation when you were coming through, because everything moves on, and there's always improvements, and there's always ways of seeing things differently. But the one thing I will say about a one-handed backhand return, it's a lot easier to start with the backhand grip and slide your hand round to the forehand than to start with a forehand grip and push your hand against the grip to find the backhand grip.
Yeah, I don't think you have time. Just the time, I think, is...
Yeah, time, friction.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that go into it, and I've always believed, but you know, that's just a theory because I've never been on court with him in terms of coaching him, is that if he started with a backhand grip, he wouldn't lose anything on his forehand side because it's just such a beautiful shot and he could chip it back. But he may be able to hit better quality backhand returns because of it.
14-15.
Solve that problem, Mark. Let's move back to the mixed. But yeah, I think we both agree that there's still plenty of upside. That's for sure.
Just hope I hope he's healthy like Felix for the Aussie. That's all we want.
Certainly looked healthy tonight. He was good. Yeah, I know he was up against Stephen Diaz, who has struggled with an injury himself, but he did look very free, I thought, tonight, Stefanos. He looked great.
Too good.
Yeah,
Keeping it real simple here, the Greek team.
3 sol.
Stefanos catching a bit of the action here. Would have had a bit of treatment, bit of food after the match. Be feeling pretty good about life after seeing Team Greece move on through.
Great shot.
Finds the space there so well. Felix was on the move.
15.
So Tsitsipas had to keep track of him. Straight down the middle.
No.
MVP on the court right now.
Just been a really good display of return here from Papamichail tonight on both Felix's serve and, of course, on the Fung serve. She's done a really, really good job of building pressure by making many returns, and that brings Petros into play at the net, so they've teamed up beautifully. That's long. Well, that is a vital break for Team Greece. Just a couple of games away now. They lead a set and 4 games to 3.
Rackets are funny things, aren't they, Josh? I know you're a big fan of this topic. I actually just took a picture of Stacey's racket and just counting her mains and crosses. 1916 is I actually thought it was 1820 because the squares between the strings are absolutely tiny, and yeah, you can see it here. And I genuinely believe that if she got even a bigger spacing between that, she could get a little bit more of a trampoline effect.
Absolutely, and I think first step, just take that vibrostopper out. Even that, a simple thing as taking the vibrostopper out, that will enhance the playability of a racket. Of course, not everyone needs to take it out, but that is a thick string she is using, and as Laura was alluding to, the thicker the string, the less powerful it becomes. And I think the fact that she'd be using a thick string because she doesn't want to get it restrung, don't want to break it. So when you're that ranking, you have to pay for it.
Yep.
But 16-19, that's the most powerful setup.
Yeah,
it is. But there's little differences that.
Get a bigger frame, but you can get a bigger racket head and create more. So you look at Sinner's racket.
Yeah.
It's like a bazooka, that thing.
Yeah. But there's rackets and there's rackets, Mark, and as Berrettini uses that racket, but I'm sure his is spec'd to perfection for pure power, whereas these could be just off the rack that you go into a tennis shop
they
and
would
get.
be.
Yeah.
She might have had them weighted by someone at a pro shop near her, but Head's not going to customize them.
That's nothing like what most of the pros who are getting sponsored and getting. But these are the things that you have to earn, don't you, along the way? You've got to get better. You've got to get your ranking up to get your product customized and supplied. So it's all part of the journey.
I think actually having looked at the close-up, which was a great shot from the cameraman, the actual thickness of that string is arguably the biggest problem.
It's like rope.
Yeah.
The thinner the string, the more receptive, the more power. Generally, yes, it won't last very long. It'll break, but the thinner it is, the better.
Going on in Papamichail's ball toss right now. Quite a few going way above her head. Can only go kick serve really from that position. So Felix right on that next shot. Well, Petros has signalled that he's going to cross here, and you can see that he goes. But if he's going to go, I think he needs to go when
she's serving it to the backhand, because Stacey Fung will not like hitting that backhand down the line. She likes to drag it cross court. So he's going to cross, try and get to the Fung backhand.
Still in it.
4-game soap.
There's no question that Fung has played her part in getting them back in this second set a couple of times now.
Love 15.
A little impatient. I thought he needed to go back cross court and wait for the real short ball there, Felix, and he's just pulled the trigger a fraction early. Probably the return of the match. Moving forward, clips this right out in front.
Oh, he knew exactly where he wanted to go with it well before he made contact with this ball.
That was beautiful to watch, wasn't it? How still was Petros' head through that swing?
Too easy. That is a great game from the Greeks. They're on the cusp of a clean sweep. They lead a set and 5 games to 4. Yeah, that's a good look there at the rackets. You've got Stacey on the right there, the thick string. That's a really thick string that you see a lot of clay courters would use. And on the left, it's actually a polyester, but it's got, you can see the grain in it. It's a rough polyester, so that is designed to create a little more grip and spin once the ball gets on it, but it's a lot thinner. You can see the difference in the string. So the equipment plays a huge part, and in particular the string. Some players use half gut, as you see Fernandez there, half gut, half polyester. Those subtle little changes for Stacey Fung here that could actually make a big difference to her game.
It's
got better as the match has gone on, Petros. He looks very comfortable. He's matured a lot over the last couple of seasons and certainly improving with his game.
Quick fans still on here, loving life.
Yeah, they're going to savour every moment, and they'll be back for the quarterfinals as well, I would imagine.
I reckon there was a bit of a rush to get tickets for Friday night.
Yeah. Much to the delight of this very, very pro-Greek crowd. It is triple match point.
Thank you. $40-15.
It's long, and Greece with the clean sweep. 3-love over Team Canada are safely into the quarterfinals of the United Cup.
Well, just an excellent match from Petros Tsitsipas in particular. He really made himself known after they went to break down in the first set. And you could just tell he plays doubles very regularly compared to the Canadian team, who just couldn't figure out a way to deal with them at net. And, you know, he really brought his partner up with him, which is one of the best qualities you can have as a doubles player. Shame for Canada not to get the win, but great to see Felix back out there. We hope his knee is feeling okay, and that will be on the singles court in no time.
Celebrating in style, as You can see here it is a big day. It's a huge win for Team Greece. One of the most popular teams in this United Cup. So well supported. And great to see Petros getting really the reward because he is the playing captain. He's invested heavily in this team. And long may they enjoy this win.
She has a very unique, specific.
They wanted it bad, and let's not forget it might be a dead rubber in terms of the team results, but a lot of money on the line, especially for someone of Papamichail's ranking. And of course, Tsitsipas as well. He's trying to get his own career going, and after breaking the top 100 in doubles, looking to keep that progress.
All right, it's a big win for Team Greece. We've got Mark Petchey courtside with the captain and leader of the team. Mark, down to you.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah, Despina, if I can come to you first, congratulations. Is that the best atmosphere you've ever played in?
Yeah, I bet it is. Thank you very much, everyone, every Greek one and non-Greek. You are amazing.
I know you didn't need to actually win the match, but you want to win every single match that you play. Petros, I got to say, you were the most valuable player out there. You move on a doubles court like nothing else.
I would disagree with you on one thing.
Okay.
I think Despina played phenomenal. She returned every serve inside the court, and it's actually great that you know, we can team up and partner up and have this experience, because I feel like we connected, you know, naturally, and that was the most important factor in the end why we got the win. So it's definitely great.
And who would you pick? You got a pick of the Tsitsipas boys. Which one, Steph or Petros after that?
I have to stick with my partner, Petros. Sorry, Steph.
You guys are qualified for the quarterfinals. You got a day off tomorrow. Any plans apart from hitting tennis balls? Something fun?
There's a day off tomorrow?
You have a day off tomorrow.
Oh, that's great. Definitely, we're going to practice.
Are you allowed a day off? Do you want to ask your dad if you're allowed a day off? Is he allowed a day off?
No days off.
The dad actually gives a day off, and Petros doesn't take it. So.
Yeah. No, we Greeks, we love to work hard and improve every day. So we're definitely going to hit the gym with our fitness coach, Christos Fiotakis. He's going to kick our ass and make us work.
It has been a successful day. I do have to say, though, your dad's standing there right now. I've never seen him so quiet. I've never seen him speak less than he was in that match. Why was he so quiet? So confident that you were going to win?
Well, I would say I have a different approach when it comes to tennis myself. So in my case, the less information I receive, I feel best on the court. So I'm really thankful that he's been quiet. Actually, that's the most important thing for me.
And I just want to highlight, Despina, this has been the best period of your life. You're almost a career high ranking right now in the world's top 100 of the doubles. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, it's been crazy last 3 years. I'm playing in the tour in the best level. But you know, you always want more. I'm very competitive, so I will not stop till I achieve my goals.
And would you like these fans to come back and watch you again?
Even more fans, please.
Definitely. We can't wait to see you the day after tomorrow. What day is it?
The day after tomorrow, Friday.
Friday. Come support us. Come support us.
Team Greece through to the quarterfinals of the United Cup.
Well, you can see that they're so enthusiastic and so thrilled to get this opportunity, and that is a huge result for two great ambassadors for Team Greece.
There will be a mad grab. I've just had a look on the ticket website to see what's still available. Not much. So if you are a Sydney local, or even if you fancy flying in, get your tickets sorted, because the atmosphere over the next few days is going to kick off.
It's rocking. It has been a wonderful evening here. It's been a sellout. Team Greece, whenever they play here in Australia, they get so much support, and it won't be any different.